persons with disabilities in general have been marginalized from society, from development activities, from engaging with communities. And according to research, persons with disabilities are among the largest group of minorities that are marginalized. So you can imagine marginalizing 1 billion people. For a woman with a disability, there are layers, to that discrimination and that marginalization. So first, you're discriminated as a woman. Remember, in general, women, there's that marginalization. Then your disability adds another layer of discrimination and marginalization. So they face double layers of exclusion. A woman with a disability is least likely to start school early. Many of them start school as late as 10 years. And these are real cases. Yeah, if you're lucky enough to go to school. So if I start school at 10 years, you can imagine how long it will take me to get to employment. By the time I come for a job interview and you're asking for 3 years experience, and I'm like, I've just finished. So you can imagine that complexity. So the thinking about Amplifying was to be able to reduce this marginalization of women. Let's narrow down a bit on women. Let's empower them and their organizations on how they can articulate their needs, and how they can be able to advocate effectively and also conduct social accountability by themselves.
My name is Lucy Kanu. I come from Igembe Central in Meru County. Yeah. I have 2 children. One is called Mary. The boy is called Nicholas, who is the second born. We have been taught about the equality, women equality, and how to advocate for our own rights. And we have also been taught not to keep quiet when we face a lot of challenges. We have also been taught on how to start self-businesses.
My name is Lucy Nkatha. I come from Meru County, Maua region, and I'm a woman with a disability, a proud woman with a disability. With the Amplify Women with Disabilities Voices project that is being run by UDPK, I was selected as a peer advisor, and my main job or work during when we have activities with them is to mobilize. I help them mobilize. I look for venues. I facilitate. Most of the times, even I train. They just support me to go and train groups. We form groups. We formed new groups of women, because before we had groups, but they were men and not many women who were in the groups. But since the project started, like in this area alone, I have managed to form 10 groups, each of roughly 30 people. So I've already mobilized 300 women, not including like stakeholders, because we had forums with stakeholders to like tell them our issues.
DPK is the umbrella organization of organizations of persons with disabilities. So we are the federation, an organization that brings persons with disabilities together to be able to speak in one voice. We've been able to achieve quite a lot in terms of formation of groups of women with disabilities, in terms of ensuring that women with disabilities acquire the various skills that they need in advocacy. For For example, what is a policy? How do they engage in a policy process? What is advocacy? How do they do their advocacy in terms of influencing decision makers? How to develop messages? How, for example, to communicate these messages to decision makers? How to manage their organizations, ensuring that their DPOs have systems, for example, what we call institutional strengthening of organizations by having various systems to help them be able also to be sustainable, fundraising or resource mobilization skills, because the donor cannot be there forever. They come and go, but then they need to have a way of mobilizing those resources.
We think it is important that also people with disabilities, that there is an inclusivity agenda, and also that we try to improve their position. So that is the background why we decided to support Amplifying Voices of Women with Disabilities.
So the main goal was to ensure that we are contributing to the achievement of human rights of women. And to achieve that, we had a number of objectives. We wanted to motivate women who are not in a group to join. Because in advocacy work, it's very hard for you to do advocacy alone. Advocacy is done well when you're in a group. So we've been doing a lot of work over the past 3 years to motivate women in 6 counties, which are Meru, Laikipia, Mombasa, Taita, Homa Bay, and Kakamega. So we've been motivating women. There are so many women who are not part of a group. So, and when you're not part of a group, you miss out. A group also brings that, the benefit of a group is also, they give you that psychosocial support. When you're going through things, let's say you're a parent of a child with a disability, you could be having a lot of struggles, you don't know how to support your child, you feel like your child is a burden, but when you come to a group and there are other parents of children, you're able to share and share experience and learn how to support each other.
I'm Ben Tatieno. I'm Faith's mother. Faith is my second born, first girl. Yeah, there are so many things that I learned from the Amplifier. The first one, I had to register Faith with persons with disability. That was a great awareness to me because I had not known. Then Faith in my family, she used to be left like that. No, any activity was given to her because we took her as a disabled person. But from there, Faith has engaged in so many household chores. She goes to the garden. She can even cook. So that was a lot to me.
Ninaitwa Justin Luther. Hapa ni kwangu. Inaitwa Emakale area, Malaa location. Na mimi mwenyekiti wa Malaa Women with Disability. Sasa mimi kama mwenyekiti na mimi ni caregiver wa mtoto mlemavu, vile tuliendelea kukutana, tukasema tukitaka at least tuoneko jambo fulani lizuri, tutafute Catherine, kwa sababu sasa Catherine huyu ni mtu wetu, na tutafute Catherine tumwambie sisi kama kikundi ya walemavu tunakutana hapo Malaa, utakuja uone kikundi chetu tunafanya nini. Kweli akakuja, tukamwambia kwa kikundi chetu tuko na merry go round, hiyo tu ndio tunafanya. Alafu tena tunahimizana, tuko na watoto walemavu, lakini wengine hata hawasomi, wengine wamefichwa tu nyumbani, unaweza kuwasaidia namna gani? Sasa ndio Catherine hapa akasema wacha nitoke, kwa sababu sasa mimi ninajua watu wengi, nitawaletea walimu waangalau wamletee kwa mafunzo, mjifunze, na kutoka kwa hiyo mafunzo mtajua ni nini ya kufanyia watoto walemavu. Sasa vile tulijifunza kwa kikundi haki, za wamama, especially sisi wamama, caregivers wa walemavu na wamama walemavu. Unajua mama mlemavu au yani hawamchukui kama ni mtu. Kitu ikitokezea wanasema na huyu mlemavu hata astahili afanye kitu fulani, lakini inatakikana kweli vile tumesoma na kila siku huwa tunahimiza wamama, hata kama we ni mlemavu, wakitaka kukawa shamba, we pia utakawa shamba. Wakitaka kufanya jambo fulani, we pia watakuhusisha. Si ati vile huyu mama ni mlemavu sasa hawezi kumuhusisha kwa jambo fulani, hapana. Mama pia siku hizi wako na voices ya kusema hapana, mimi sijaambiwa hiki kitu kitendeke, na kwa hivyo mimi sitakubali. Anaenda nje.
Jina langu ni Rosemary Wanjiku. Niko na disability ya mkono na miguu. Niko na 37 years. Tuko Mturukuma pande ya Nanyuki. Basi kikundi kile nilianzia inaitwa daraja la kufaulu. Niliweza kujipenda mwenyewe sababu nilikuwa naona hata mimi nilikuwa sijajipenda kabisa. Alafu nikajua hata mimi ninaweza kujifanyia kazi na niweze kusaidia wengine. Kwa kikundi kumetusaidia kama group kujua rights zetu, na tunaweza hata kuingia mahali popote kwa ofisi kuuliza rights zetu.
Kama jina Leda Foundation Kafala, iko kijiji cha Makanya Center. Shida yangu ni spinal injury. Kuna changamoto nyingi kwa sababu nikiwa mwanamke na kuna ulemavu hata hawakutambui. Shida ni nyingi sana. Tunaitufuza kuhusu haki za walemavu. Kama kukipatikana nafasi kwa serikali, tunaweza ingia kwa bodi ya shule, tunaweza ingia kwa hospitali. Kwa serikali, kama kazi yote ya serikali ikipatikana, tuko na haki kama walemavu.
Langu ni Emma Ashiali, naishi na ulemavu. Nda seminar kwanza as individual, alafu tukaform group. Sasa through group ndio tunajaribu kusaidia watu mlemavu, hasa sana wasichana walemavu na wale wa kike lakini wenye wanadhulumiwa. Kupitia group tumesaidia watu wengi, hasa sana watoto wa shule. Kuna mtoto anaitwa Rael kwa shule ya Rise and Shine Special School. Alikuwa anadhulumiwa na mwalimu, lakini tulipojua tulipigia Kathi simu. Kathi naye akachukua hatua, wakaanza kumshughulikia hadi haki ikatendeka. Hata kuna wengine tukifika kwa boma wanashangaa huyu naye atafanya nini, na hawajui ni nini itafanyika. Sasa wakiona ati pia wenye wanakuja ni walemavu, wanafikiria hakuna kitu wanaweza fanya, lakini wakiona tunafanya hadi haki inatendeka, wanatuogopa. Sasa sisi wenyewe pia tunafurahia na sasa najichukulia kweli naweza.
My names are Irene Wamboi Wamiti. Niko Laikipia County, Umande Ward. My disability ni visually impaired. And I'm the chair of my Umande Disabled Women Self-Help Group. Nisaidia sana sana kunipea life skills na kuenda kupatana na watu wengi. Wananiambia tukienda unasikia kikundi ingine unafanya hivi, at least unakuwa umetrain, hata kwa akili zako unaona umekuwa na kitu umesoma. Kama hizo seminar nimesoma mambo ya monitoring, evaluating and learning report, kuandika report. At least hiyo kitu najua kama nikianzia kikundi, kama nikiwa shared, siwezi angusha kikundi. Nitawaambia kwanza tunaanza kumonitor, juu tunaweza anzia kikundi tupate haiendelei vizuri. Sasa ni lazima tufanye monitoring ndio tujue venye tutaanzia. Hiyo ndio imenisaidia sana. wengi wetu hawakuwa na pengine hii kadi ya National Hospital hawakuwa nayo. Sasa venye tulianzia, wengi wetu wameanza kupata hiyo kadi na wanaweza jilipia wenyewe. Kama ni hii kadi ya National Persons with Disability, wengi wetu hawakukuwa. Sasa kama kikundi tulikuwa tunapanga watu, tunawapeleka, wanaenda wanafanyiwa assessment, at least wanapata hiyo kadi.
Name is Nancy Njeri Kamweru, and I am also low vision. I sit in the board, the UDPK board, as a woman representative. Again, a number of our women in these counties are poverty stricken. So they have very poor living standards. So we first of all try to empower them by first of all taking them through some training, and it is at this point that we are able to identify their potential. Like if we put a woman in a small business, are they able to now earn their living? So we try to empower them economically and also socially, because when we train them, they meet others and they interact, and so their social morale is boosted.
My name is Zahra Hassan. I'm a member of WAWA Kenya, an abbreviation for Wanawake Wavuvi, working in Homa Bay County around Lake Victoria with an aim of ending sex for fish and teenage pregnancies. The training and the engagement with Amplify has been very important, not only to us but in every other organization that participated. We were brought to understand that it is our responsibility to ensure that we support this target group and bring the county government into call to make sure that they also tailor-make programs that support them, because for us as an institution, we are just here to complement. But we were made to understand we can integrate our services with what the county government has in their work plan, so that we do a comprehensive service delivery.
Voti is a CBO right now. The organization started long in 2005. The main purpose of starting our CBO was to empower both the women and the youth.
So that's one thing that we've done, which is part of the twin track approach. You empower internally first. So outside is now our county official.
My name is Timothy Aseka, a member of the County Assembly of Kakamega. Where we are sitting is our debating chamber. I'm a nominated member on the Amani National Congress Party. I represent issues of disability, so of course in all these committees I have to ensure that in each and every coming legislation we have disability issues, aspects and priorities captured. Disability responsive budgeting, disability responsive legislations. Sometimes they bring policies here in the assembly for us to ratify. We have to do that, some regulations. So I have to ensure that disability is properly captured.
So what we did is we've been empowering county officials. These are the county executives. We worked with various departments like education, gender, we've been doing a lot of work with water departments, so that we just engage with them. This is your plans. This is your plans for this year. This is what you want to achieve. So how do you ensure that you also reach women with disabilities and also people with disabilities in general?
My name is Kakach Edwins. I have a title of a honorable member by virtue of representing the interests of persons with disability in the County Assembly at Homa Bay, where we are at the moment. I am physically challenged. Just like we champion that women at all levels be included in decision making, we cannot really at this point of time in our society, this century, be talking about just women without bringing in the aspect of women with disability. And many times I realize we talk about inclusion at all levels, that 2/3 must be gender, the gender role aspect. But then when it comes to gender role, we forget about that even within that element of gender role, there are women also who are on disability. We should also be able to bring them closer at the levels of decision making, at all cadres of decision making.
We learned that we, as a county, we are slightly lagging behind in terms of proper advocacy issues. We do measure on the empowerment and creation of awareness. And those other counties, they told us that for us to do the advocacy, we have to involve ourselves with the county government so that we have a proper project that is majorly owned by the government. So in case the county government is doing the budget, it has to do a budget for the PWDs within the Peer Advisory Council.
I wish that this project goes on, because we haven't reached our targets. We haven't reached what we expected to reach. We had a work plan. We haven't made up to this work plan fully. We wanted a fully transformed country with the women with disabilities fully empowered. So if this project can go on, more women will be empowered. More women will get this information, and more women will form groups, and they will be able to stand for their own. And even in these groups, you know, they are practicing some economical empowerment projects, small for their own.
Maoni yangu ni kwa watu walemavu kwa kaunti ama kwa Kenya kwa jumla, wawe watu wa kuwa empowered, ili wasionekane hawawezi. Hata mama mlemavu anaweza kuwa president.
Ningependa hiyo ni agenda based violence. Hiyo tu ndio iendelee kabisa, sababu imesaidia. Imetoa watu wengi gizani. Kuna hata watoto walikuwa wamefichwa, lakini tulikuwa tunawatoa waende shule. Sasa walemavu wengine hata wamejua haki zao. Wamejua na haki ya kusoma, haki ya kupata kazi, haki hivyo.
So this project, if it goes on, like for the last 2 years, we have seen a lot. And if it goes on further, we know that we shall see more transformation.